Let's get serious. Almost dropped my chapstick. Let's get serious. A Boeing whistleblower. A Boeing whistleblower. Now, hold on one second. Let me show you this. His name is John Barnett, and they're saying that he was found dead, apparently from a suicide. We know better, but listen, they saying that it was a suspicious suicide. A suspicious suicide, according to the BBC. And here, let me share my screen with you guys before we get into the video. Well, I'll just show you the video and then I'll show you the timeline of the events, and then you guys can decide for yourself. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Well, hold on. I don't want to show that video yet. All right. I don't want to show that video yet. All right, let's go with this one.
Tonight, we are learning more about events surrounding the death of the Boeing whistleblower, John Barnett. Barnett was found dead in his truck in a Holiday Inn parking lot just off of Savannah Highway. Preliminary reports from the Charleston County Coroner's Office are that his death appears to be from a self-inflicted wound. However, that has not quelled the public attention over his death. For years, Barnett said publicly he was retaliated against by the world's largest aerospace company because he blew the whistle on unsafe practices. Our investigative reporter Ann Emerson has been talking to sources familiar with the story today. Ann, what are you learning about Barnett's death?
Well, right now we're trying to nail down the timeline of John Barnett's death and the last time anyone saw or heard from him alive. Take a look at this timeline. The hotel staff told police John Barnett checked into room 511 at the hotel on March 2nd. Barnett's lawyer tells me he sat down for his deposition with Boeing's lawyers on Thursday the 7th. It was the start of a months-long deposition process ahead of the June trial. March 8th, Barnett puts his complaints of a hostile work environment at Boeing on the record with his lawyers, but he grows tired of the questioning and leaves a little early. The idea was they would resume the next morning. His lawyer, Rob Turkowitz, tells me he spoke to his client for the last time around 6 p.m. Friday night. Saturday, March 9th, the weather is terrible. Huge storms inundate this area. 9:24 a.m., a hotel staff member said they heard a pop near where Barnett's car was parked, but thought nothing of it. Turkowitz called the hotel when Barnett fails to show up for the deposition around 10 a.m.
So you hear a pop, aka a gunshot. You hear a gunshot and you didn't think nothing of it. Not a big deal. You know what? I'm not even going to go and check. I don't see what's happening. Now, listen, every single other situation, and I'm not saying that anybody did anything to him. I'm just going to point out the obvious. I'm going to be Captain Obvious right now. Every other situation that we've ever reviewed on the Millionaire Morning Show, we just seen a guy, the 27-year-old woman that got killed at Subway, the fourth suspect, the bus stop shooter, they found out who that guy was and what his name was immediately. You can't blink. You can't even run a red light without it being a camera. Listen, next time y'all go to a red light in a main intersection, look up. The next time that you that you stop at a red light and you at a main thoroughfare intersection, don't matter what city you in, it don't matter if you're in Detroit, Milwaukee, Chicago, Los Angeles, Oakland, New York, San Francisco, San Diego, Miami, Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, Alabama, South Carolina, Raleigh, no matter where you are, look up. For every single intersection, it's 1,000 cameras all around you. They're able to find out who's actually in your location based off of geofencing, and you can't even trust me, I had drones. Do you know you can't fly a drone in certain places because they automatically got geofencing based off of safety and equipment and technicalities and every bus, every building. Listen, my building has so many cameras in it and security precautions, and it's cameras that's outside. Bro, I caught the people mover in here today. I walked across the street before I got up through the elevator and then got up to the top thing, walked up the steps, got up to the top thing in order for me to get on the people mover. Before I even got close to the yellow line that they say, hey, don't come close to this, don't go over this yellow line because the train comes over here. The guy was already on the thing, watching me on the camera. Oh, I'm sorry, Anton Daniels. Move over. I just started laughing. I said, man, how you know my name? We see you all the time, Mr. Daniels. Then I got on the people mover, and it was cameras all over the place, every single stop that you make, right? And then shout out to the news guy. I seen a news guy get on the camera. He said, hey, man, a young news guy. I think it was like Channel 7 here in Detroit or something. Hey, man, what's going on, Anton? So I waved at him, and we, had a couple words as I was getting off. And every single place that you go on, camera everywhere. Surveillance everywhere. But don't nobody know nothing. Everybody is oblivious. Staying at a hotel, don't know where he at. Just so happened to get in this car. And it was a pop. And nobody thought about anything. Okay. This is the timeline, y'all. Talked to his lawyer, went to his car, called, blew the whistle, told about unsafe practices at the largest manufacturing of aerospace equipment in the entire world. And then nothing happened. Okay.
Hotel staff locate Barnett in his car with a gun still in his hand, and what they say was a note on the passenger seat.
We did not have any indication that he was under tremendous stress to the point where he would, take his own life.
Well, right now we are waiting for the Charleston Police Department to finish the investigation into
He wrote a note, left it on his lap. What did the note say?
Barnett's death. They are the lead agency and have yet to ask for any assistance. Part of the evidence will include the coroner's report and whether this was indeed a suicide. Coming up at 7, we're going to take a closer look.
So let's go into his family. His family spoke and said, apparently he was saying, if anything happens to me, I didn't kill myself.
I know that he did not commit suicide. There's no way.
First tonight, our investigative reporter Ann Emerson has new information in the death of Boeing whistleblower John Barnett. A close family friend of Barnett says he predicted he might wind up dead, that a story could surface that he killed himself. But he told her, don't believe it. Ann?
I don't know how listen, I'm just reacting to the news stories. The close friend, one of his close family friends, said, listen, they say that he said, hey, listen, the type of information that I'm giving out here, it's a lot of money that's about to be messed up because, the safety of the people is at risk here. And I'm telling you, this is what the family friend is saying. I'm telling you, if anything happens to me, I am not suicidal. I did not hurt myself. That's what the family friend said.
Tessa, Barnett's family friend Jennifer said they had talked about this exact scenario playing out, but his words seemed like a premonition. He told her, don't ever believe it.
I knew John because his mom and my mom are best friends. And so over the years, get-togethers, birthdays, celebrations, and, whatnot, we've all got together and talked, and, that's how we really know each other.
And when Jennifer needed help one day, Barnett came by to see her. They talked about his upcoming depositions in Charleston. Jennifer knew he filed an extremely damaging complaint against Boeing. He says the aerospace giant retaliated against him when he blew the whistle on unsafe practices. For more than 30 years, Barnett was a quality manager. He'd recently retired and moved back to look after his mom in Louisiana.
He wasn't concerned about safety because I asked him, I said, aren't you scared? And he said, and his voice and the way he would talk, no, I ain't scared. He said, but if anything happens to me, it's not suicide. You know, I know that he did not commit suicide. There's no way. He loved life too much. He loved his family too much. He loved his brothers too much to put them through what they're going through right now.
And he basically told you not to believe it.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Not true. He's got too much to do, likes breathing. And he did. He had a lot of plans of things that he wanted to do.
But he just woke up one day after a deposition with his lawyer from a hotel room that he planned on staying in for about a month. And he just decided to write a note and go ahead and take his own self. Okay. Got it. Yeah. I'm just curious. What do y'all think about this? Do y'all think that this man actually took his own off himself, or do you think that this is all something else?
What do you think happened?
I think somebody got in there and made, money can buy anything nowadays, it seems
Got
like.
that right.
And there's a lot of evil in this world. I think somebody didn't like what he had to say and wanted to shut him up and didn't want it to come back on anyone. So that's why they made it look like a suicide.
The last time she saw Barnett, it was at her father's funeral in late February. He was one of the pallbearers. Sometimes family and friends referred to him by his middle name, Mitch.
I think everybody is in disbelief and can't believe it. And I told everybody that I don't care what they say. I know that Mitch didn't do that.
What do y'all think?